What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we are going to be treating the quarantine tank for white spot. As per the video title, make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. Remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep up to date with our future uploads. You may have noticed the brand new intro, which was really fun to film. And today we're going to be treating the new fish that are in quarantine for white spot, because unfortunately within 48 hours white spot started to appear on a few of the fish. So we need to nip it in the bud and get this early so it doesn't cause any further problems to the fish. The fish have already had their first feed and they're eating really well. They're nice and active. At the moment they aren't showing any signs of any listlessness or clamped fins or any odd behaviour, so the white spot obviously hasn't taken a hold. So I quickly have picked up some medications for them. So here, first of all, we've got some Alparex from Colombo. This has got malachite green and acroflavin in it. You need to make sure when you're buying and storing your chemicals that they are within the use by dates, as some chemicals can form into toxic substances if they are left too long or they run out of date, such as formalin, or commonly known as formaldehyde. When this runs out of date, it can go into a cloudy liquid and be super toxic, so you cannot use it. Luckily, the treatment we're using today has only got acroflavin and malachite in it. When acroflavin is out of date or left too long, the strength of it just weakens. It doesn't split or turn into any toxic substances. And the malachite green is a very stable compound and it has a really long shelf life, so there's nothing too much to worry about that. Obviously it is a carcinogenic chemical, so we need to be really careful when we handle it. I've actually picked up a pair of gloves. So we've got a pair of blue gloves to match my lovely Crocs. And also I picked up some koi calm, which I hope we're not going to be having to use this, but it's always good to have on hand. So we've got this koi calm from NT Labs. Also I picked up some chloramine tea, which is good for bacterial problems. This is really strong, just like methylene blue, and not quite as strong as the acroflavin, so I'm not going to be adding this, but it's always good to have on hand. And then finally we've got potassium
A few moments later.
And then finally we've got potassium permanganate, which is a treatment I hate so much because it is so strong and so destructive to the fish. If you don't use this correctly, it will definitely kill your fish, and you really need to treat this product with a lot of respect. If you're going to use it, you really need to use it properly with an AWP meter, commonly known as a redox meter, to measure the level of potassium within the pond. As it is, or in the tank, as it is an oxidizing agent, it will oxidize with anything organic, and that includes your fish, the fish's tissue, the fish's gills, so we need to be really careful of this one. But it is really good at sterilizing things like nets, tanks, so it's always good to have on hand. A few other things that I'm going to be doing with the tank: I'm going to bump the temperature up to about 30.5 to 31 degrees, as white spot will leave its host above 30 degrees. As long as that temperature is stable above 30 degrees, the white spot will leave the host after 24 hours and go into its free swimming stage. Within 48 hours, if it hasn't found a new host, it will then die. So we are going to keep the temperature at 30.5 to 31 degrees for the next 5 or so days, and that will help kill the white spot. I've also done a 50% water change to dilute any potential contaminants in the water, any ammonium nitrite or any nitrate. Although the filters are mature, I've just turned the sponge filters off for the video purposes. It's possible we can get a little bit of build-up of contaminants, so I've done a 50% water change matching the temperature of the tank. So right now I'm going to bump the temperature up, then we're going to add the treatment in, and also I'm going to add a bit of salt. As per the salt video, which hopefully you guys have watched, I am going to be treating with salt at 3 parts per thousand. This will not only help defend against the white spot because by increasing the fish's mucus layer, but it will also help take some stress and some pressure off the fish and help them to recover. So I might have to do a double dose of the Alparex Colombo. So by that I mean do a treatment after 5 or 7 days, but we're going to stick with the first treatment. I'm going to get it in and then hopefully the fish will be parasite free. This will also treat for other parasites such as Costia, Trichodina. It won't really touch flukes or worms as these need other medications such as praziquantel, which is fluke solve or fluke P. But it should nail most of the other common parasites that we might find on these fish. So right now I'm going to get the heat up and get the treatment in. I've just increased the heater to about 31 degrees, maybe slightly warmer. I just need to make sure that temperature is held above 30 degrees and it doesn't dip below that, just for the white spot so we can kill that off. So when treating with chemicals, we need to be really accurate. The best way to do it is to measure your aquarium dimensions to get a really accurate water volume. So you'll measure the width by the length by the height. And you don't want to measure the height of the tank in total, you just want to measure the water height. So I'm going to do internal measurements. So I know it's 60 centimeters across, I know it's 90 centimeters wide, and I know the water height is 47 centimeters tall. So if I just do a quick calculation, that's 249 litres. Joking, I used to calculate, I'm not that small. So we are going to treat for 249 litres, and looking at the bottle, we need 1 milliliter per 40 litres. So how much is that? So 240 litres would be 6 millilitres. So we're just going to do slightly over 6 millilitres. Then we're going to add the salt a little bit later on, just so the fish are settled and they're okay. And we're going to add the salt at 3 parts per thousand, which will be 3 grams per litre. So I'm going to get that treatment in now, and it's probably going to turn the water a lovely green colour. So I'm going to get my trusted gloves on to match my Crocs, and we are going to treat with the Alparex Colombo. I just want to be careful because malachite will obviously stain my hands and it is carcinogenic, so I need to be really careful with this, not start drinking it or pouring it everywhere. So I give the bottle a good shake whenever you're adding chemicals, make sure there's no residue in the bottom. I'm just going to pour a little bit out into the lid, and then we're going to take our 6 millilitres from the lid, as it'll be much easier and it saves me from knocking the whole bottle into the tank. So I'm just going to put the lid on the side, and it's already spilling. You probably can't see that, but it's a lovely green colour. So we've got a syringe here, so we're going to do just over 6 millilitres. Got it on the wall. Sorry about that, I've already got some on the wall. So this is a really good idea to wear gloves. So I'm going to do another mil, so this will be 2 mil. I'll release it under the water so it doesn't splash everywhere. 3 mil. And as the temperature is increasing to about 31 degrees, we really need to make sure we've got lots of air going into the tank, because the carrying capacity of the water for oxygen is going to be significantly lower at these temperatures. So this will be 5 mil. And the last one will be 6, just over 6 mil. So that's the malachite in. So I'm just going to clean this all up and then we can wrap up the video. The treatment's now in. That was really nice and easy. The fish haven't reacted at all to the treatment, which is really good to see. So obviously they're still nice and happy. I'm going to get the salt in a little bit later just because I don't want it all as one shot to the fish. Next video, we've actually managed to organise another Tank Tours episode, so that will be episode 4 with a Ranchu breeder here in Surrey, which is going to be really exciting. So Andy breeds Japanese top view Ranchus for many years. He's got a large outdoor pond which he keeps his fish in all year round, so that's going to be really interesting for you guys and the people who say you can't keep fancies outdoors. And also he's got a fish shed, so I'm hoping we're going to do a 2-part episode with him, just like we did with John, where we're going to look over his system and his setup, and then in part 2 we're going to take a look at some of the fish and we're going to have a little bit of critiquing on them. So that's really exciting. If you want to stay tuned for that and you want to watch that, make sure you subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode. Keep those water changes up and happy fish keeping.